Hi all, today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect granny square. So let's start right away. First, make a slip knot and then chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Loosen the loop a little bit and then insert your hook into the back loop of the first chain. So that's the back loop. And then insert your hook into the loop and then pull through, that is slip stitch. So that's the ring. Now chain 2. So chain 2 counts as the first DC. Now 2 more DCs into the ring and that counts as the first cluster. So that's 1 and 1 more into the ring. So that's 2. Next chain 2. So that's going to be the corner and then again 3 DCs into the ring. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Then chain 2 which forms the next corner. So now you're going to continue the same, that is 3 DC, chain 2, 3 DC, chain 2. That is in total 2 times more. So to complete the first round, you're going to slip stitch on the top of the chain 2, which we did in the beginning. So insert your hook into both the loops of on the top of the chain 2 and yarn over, pull through and through. That is, make a slip stitch. So now that's your first round. So for the second round, you're going to flip the square, insert your hook into the corner and slip stitch. Now chain 2, this counts as the first DC, and 2 DCs into the corner. That is 2 more DCs into the corner. So this counts as only half of the corner. The other half will finish once we finish this entire round. So moving on to the next corner, that is here, you're going to make 3 DCs, chain 2 and 3 DCs. So that's the first DC. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 2, 1, 2. Again 3 DCs. 1, 2 and 3. So you're going to repeat the same in both the corners, that is 3 DC, chain 2, 3 DC, and I'll meet you when I reach there. Okay, so we finished both the corners. Next we are going to work the other half of the corner. So into this corner we are going to make 3 DC, chain 2 and then slip stitch on the top of the beginning chain 2. So let's start. I'm going to make the first DC. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Then chain 2, 1, 2. Then slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. So insert your hook through both the loops. It will be a little tight, but it's going to be okay. And then yarn through, pull through both the loops. So that's the slip stitch. Now again flip the square and slip stitch to the corner. Again chain 2, which counts as the first DC, and then 2 more DCs into the corner. So that's 1 and 2. So moving on to the next space, we're going to make 3 DCs into the space between the 3 DC cluster. So there's no need to make chain 1 in between these clusters. Now avoiding to chain 1 in between the 3 DC clusters helps your granny square with lesser gaps in between. So that's 3 DCs. Now moving on to the next corner, we're going to make 3 DC, chain 2, 3 DC. So I'll complete this entire row and I'll meet you back there. So I have completed the entire round and in the first corner I'm going to make 3 DCs. as we did in the previous row. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Now chain 2 and then slip stitch to the top of the chain 2, that is the top of the beginning chain 2. So insert your hook through both the loops, yarn over, pull through and through. So that's your slip stitch. Now flip your square and slip stitch to the corner. Now you're going to make as many rounds as you want, or as big as you want your granny square to be, and I'll show you how to make the final round. So considering that this is my final round, I'm gonna chain 2 first, which counts as the first DC. So that's chain 2 and then 1 DC, chain 2, 1, 2, then 3 DCs into the corner, 1, 2 and 3. So next I'm going to make 3 DCs into the first space and then 3 DCs into the corner, 3 DC, chain 2, 3 DC. Same way I'm going to complete the entire round, and I'll meet you when I reach there. Okay, so I have completed the last 3 DC cluster. Now I have to make 1 more DC into the corner because there we have only 2 DCs. So 1 DC in the corner. So do not slip stitch right away. Pull up a loop, leave a little tail behind and trim your yarn. Now pull it through entirely. Okay, now take a darning needle and down the end of the yarn tail into the darning needle. And now we are going to make an invisible stitch. So for the invisible stitch, you're going to insert your darning needle to the top of the second DC. So there you see is the first DC, which is actually chain 2, and the next one is the second DC. So you're going to insert your darning needle through the top of the second DC, that is through both the loops. I hope it's clear enough. So that's insert your darning needle through both the loops. And pull it through nice and tight. Pull it a little more tighter. Then you're going to insert the darning needle to the back loop only, of the last DC, the one which has stopped, and pull it through nice and through. And then you are going to weave in your ends completely. So that's our granny square. I hope this video tutorial was helpful for you. I have made another granny square using the same technique, but I had changed the colors after every 2 rows. I am planning to make a bag using these granny squares, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.